I played locals last time and last weekend, last Saturday, and I topped with branded Chimera. This is my deck profile. I played 45 cards. First of all, the main engine. This is pretty standard. 3 Mirror Sword Knight, 3 Kotal, 2 Baphomet, and 3 Gazelle. Also 3 Chimera Fusion. I think, yeah, this is standard by now. Nothing much to say. I wouldn't change anything. Then for the branded engine, when I started out playing this deck, I just played 40 cards with 3 branded fusion and 2 albas. But recently I went up to 45 cards and added 2 opening and 1 aluba. I think this is a pretty good ratio. It makes siding easier, and yeah, you have more than enough consistency. I think you could even play 50 cards and this deck would still be consistent. So then we already come to the non-engine. As protection against hand traps, and for going first, I play triple crossout and 1 cold buy. This is an absolute MVP of the deck. I love this card. It saved me so many times, and basically every time I resolve this, I win the duel. Because yeah, the enemy loses one card in his hand, and then I rip another card in the end phase, and yeah, then it's just too much interruption to play through for most decks. Speaking of which, I also play a lot of non-engine. My hand trap lineup that also is a target for crossout, of course, is triple Ash, triple Imperm, 1 Whaler, 1 Nib, and that's it. Yeah, that's it for the main deck hand traps. Other non-engine I played that's also a crossout target, of course, is 1 Talent. It's also pretty nice if you go first and you get hand trapped and you can cross out them or whatever, and then you rip another card. Yeah, you win immediately. Then Super Poly, of course. It's an amazing board breaker or additional interruption going first. And also an absolute MVP of this deck. Helped me a lot against the Pearly matchup was Fenrir. Fenrir is amazing, especially in this deck, because you want to go into Guardian Chimera and you need 3 different names for that. So yeah, Fenrir is perfect. It searches another copy. Fenrir is busted. I thought he would get banned or limited. He didn't. So yeah, I take that. Amazing card. Other than that, I also played Triple Prosperity. This is just awesome for consistency, makes you see the card you want to see, and yeah, you should play it. I also thought this would get banned, but it didn't. Yeah, busted card. Play it for sure. And then I also played Versago as a fusion substitute. Actually, I was planning to play Hexield instead, but because I didn't have this card yet, I stayed with Versago. The difference is with Versago, you go into Lubellion, this one, and he makes you discard another card from your hand. So you go -1 instead of going into Albion with Hexield. And then you could also get this into the grave, at Branded Fusion the end phase, get even more follow-up. So I thought this one would be better, but actually playing Versago saved my ass in like multiple duels this weekend. Because one time my enemy sided multiple bestials against me, and he banished everything all the targets that I had in my grave. But because the balance effect is that you can also use the materials from the banished zone, yeah, I just didn't care, and it won the duel. I made Dragoon anyways. So yeah, I'm still not sure which one you should play. I think it's up to personal preference, and maybe depends on the local meta scene. Speaking of which, this is my extra deck. I think this is also pretty standard. 1 Albion, 1 Lubellion. Actually, only 1 Chimera King of Phantom Beasts. I think 1 is actually enough. I almost never make 2 of these. Yeah, most rounds the hand rip effect in the end phase is dead anyway. You just want to make this going first, of course, but I don't know. Doing it more than once is not necessary. Now that you have the other fusions as well. Speaking of which, Baphomet is also a really important fusion that can mill you the floodgates going first in game 2 or 3. And of course, for going into OTKs, the illusion boss monster. Yeah, I think you all know the combo. You can use Lubellion or Albion to banish a lot of illusion monsters, and then just this is 1 card OTK. You can attack 4 or 5 times. It's amazing. Super poly targets. I play Dracostapelia, Mud Dragon, and Goro. Yeah, pretty basic as well. Of course, I play Windbroom, 1 Guardian Chimera. Maybe you could play 2, but for me, 1 was enough. Mirror Jade, and I played Dragoon, of course. Oh, then I played a spicy target against Manadium, which is Draco Equist. Didn't come up, but in theory, it's pretty good. Yeah, maybe I will keep it, maybe I'll ditch it, not sure. Magnum comes up sometimes, and I actually played a 2nd copy of Baphomet. As for my side deck, I actually didn't use my side deck much because I felt like I had everything I needed in my main deck already. But this is what I played. 2 Nip to add even more Nip. I play already in my main deck. But against Unchained, this is amazing, so I can add 2 more. Then, of course, Triple Droll. Love this card as well. It's good against so many combo decks. I think everybody should side this. And I played Triple Crow against Telements and Unchained. These matchups didn't come up, so like I said, I barely used my extra deck. Then I played 2 Chikaboo. This is also a good card in theory in the right matchup, but also didn't have any matchups that I wanted to use this in. Then against back row heavy decks, 1 Feather Duster, 2 Lightning Storm, and mill targets for the Chimera boss monster is Barrier Statue of the Abyss. This is really good against Rescue Ace and of course Fire Kings, for example. And the End of Anubis against Telements and other graveyard focused strategies. Yeah, really happy with those, but like I said, side deck barely came up at all. Now with the new ban list, I would change a few things because Telements and Unchained both got hit pretty harsh. I would cut Didicro completely, actually. And instead I would play Cosmics. Tikaboo is at 1 now. I would play 1, of course, but yeah, I think that's fine. And yeah, instead I would add 2 Pankratops. Only have 1 here right now, but I think Pankratops is really good, especially if you play Fenrir as well, and then you go 2nd and you just special 2 monsters and put so much pressure on the enemy. That's really good. Yeah.